Hello students, today I am going to teach the chapter Soils of India. Let me go first to the definition of the soil. Soil is defined as the uppermost layer of the earth's surface consisting mainly of very small rock particles, minerals and organic matter. You have read this before previously in your class 9 in the chapter Weathering. Now, according to ICAR, the soils of India is divided into 8 major groups. Number 1 is the alluvial soil, then we have the black soil, then the red soil, laterite soil, desert soil and the mountain soil. Number 1, that is alluvial soil. As we all know that alluvial soil is the most fertile soil and it helps immensely in the agricultural production. In India, the alluvial soil occupies almost 46% of the land and it is being composed of sand, silt, pebbles, gravels and etc. The alluvial soil is basically been divided into 2 types. Number 1 is the riverine alluvial soil and number 2 is the coastal alluvial soil. So what is this riverine alluvial soil? The soil which is being produced due to the depositions of the river or deposition made by the river, we call that as the riverine alluvial soil. This riverine alluvial soil is again been divided into 2 parts. One is new alluvial soil and other name of the new alluvial soil is the Khadar soil, which is grey in color and coarse, and next we have number 2, that is old alluvial soil. So what is old alluvial soil? Old alluvial soil is the Bhangar soil, which is being deposited fast. This Khadar soil is very much fertile than the old alluvial soil because the old alluvial soil contains mostly of the humus and lime. As a result, this makes this alluvial soil less fertile in comparison to the Khadar soil. Next is the coastal alluvial soil. Coastal alluvial soil is being produced and is found mainly along the coastal parts of our country. This coastal alluvial soil is being produced by the depositions of deposition made by the rivers in the mouth portion and also deposition made by the waves and the sea waves, etc. This coastal alluvial soil is not so much fertile as the riverine alluvial soil because it is mainly consists of this sand and saline materials. As a result of that, agriculture is not very much flourished in the coastal alluvial soil. The color of this alluvial soil mostly depends on the rate of the deposition and where it is being deposited. The texture, as we already said, that it is from the fine grain to coarse grain. The crops that grows mainly in these types of the soil are wheat, rice, then we have this pulses, jute, etc. So, and the region where we found these types of the soil is mainly the riverine portions of our country, like this Indo-Gangetic plain, then the coastal plains like the eastern coastal plains and the western coastal plains. Next we are going to read or going to study about the black soil. Black soil is another important soils of India which is covering about 16.6% of our country. The word black soil is related or is being evolved or it's being taken or being fragmented or being done or because of the weathering of the lava rocks. So this black soil we generally found in the Deccan Plateau region. Deccan Plateau we know is a lava plateau. When this lava is being eroded and it's got deposited and the formation of this black soil take place. There is another name for this black soil, that is Regur soil, which is being taken from the word Ragada. It is an South Indian word. It is composed, as I said, mainly of the volcanic materials like ash, dust and etc. The characteristics of this this type of the black soil is that it is very much black and color and brownish or medium black grayish in color. The texture is very fine grained. It consists mostly of 60% of the clay. The minerals that we found generally in the black soil is like aluminium, then magnesium, potassium, etc. The crops that we found generally or basically specifically in this type of the black soil is the cotton and then fruits, jowar, bajra, etc. We found this black soil in the Deccan tract of our India, like in the central portion or middle central portion, central southern portion of India, and also in some parts of the Gujarat too. Next, we are going to read about the red soil. The red soil is covering about 10.6% of the total area of our India, and the red soil is composed of the weather materials from the parent rock. As we know that the soils are specifically the weathering that has been done from the parent rock. So when the parent rock get eroded and the soils that we get, we are actually calling this soil as the red soil. Okay, it is actually made up of the old crystalline and the metamorphosed rock. The color of this rock is, because this rock is highly contain this say iron, so this color is being oxidized, the iron is being oxidized, and this red color appears in this types of the red soil. The texture is of mixed of clay and sandy, and the mineral content is also, the mineral content that we found in the red soil is also potash, and then apart from that nitrogen, etc. It is found in the parts of this Goa, then parts of this Orissa, Andhra Pradesh, etc. The crops that grow mainly in this type of the soil is wheat, millet, etc. Next, we are coming to the laterite soil. I have already done the laterite soil, so let's go to this desert soil. Desert soil, as you know, desert soils are very sandy soil in nature, and we specifically find this desert soil in this western part of our country, right? So, here, the name from the desert, we can understand this soil is very sandy and coarse in structure, so it does not support agriculture too much. The desert soil has got a color of yellow and brownish in nature. The mineral content of the mineral that is found in the desert soil is like silica, salts, etc. The crops that are grown in over here are bajra, millet, etc. And we found this types of the soil in the parts of Rajasthan and some portion of the Gujarat and Haryana region. Next, I am going to do the mountain soil. The mountain soil, from the name you can understand that it is made up of boulders, then small pebbles and large gravels, etc. So we found this type of the soil specifically in the mountainous tract or in the northern part of our state. The texture of this soil is generally rocky, and along with some amount of fine texture is also found, or fine type of mountain soil is also found. It is made up of mixtures of the phosphorus, phosphate, etc. The crops that we generally found in the mountain part of the soil is like tea, coffee, and sometimes fruits are also grown in the mountain types along with the flowers. The regional distribution of the mountain soil is specifically found in the Kashmir, Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttaranchal, Sikkim. Then we have this portion of Arunachal Pradesh, some portion of this South India also, like the Nilgiri Hills, Western Ghats, Eastern Ghats, etc. Now let's go to the portion of soil erosion. As we all know that erosion is one of the major concerns of our nowadays world. Because of this excessive cutting of the trees, excessive deforestation, excessive plucking of the grasses, this actually leads to a very dangerous effects, and as a result of that, soil erosion is occurring. So in page number 99, you can see that there is a portion given as a soil erosion. So causes of the soil erosion, you maximum need to know 6 points from there and mark this important also. So what are the causes of the soil erosion? Number 1 is the surface runoff. Surface runoff is actually the rivers. Okay, when the soils are loose, when the soils get loose, when the when the trees are not there or the trees are being uprooted. Actually, the roots of the trees is the one which holds the soils of our earth. And if we cut the soil, if we cut the tree, then what will happen? The root will get uprooted, and there is no agent will be left to hold the soil. So when the river flows, the soil is lying loose over there, so the river is carrying the soil along with it and washing away the topsoils. As we all know, the topmost portion of the soil is the most fertile one rather than the lower layer of the soils. So if we are losing the fertile soil or the uppermost or the topmost portion of the soil, it is being difficult to produce the crops in those regions. Next is the wind. In the dry region, specifically in the desert region, if we do this deforestation or it lacks the vegetation, then what will happen? The soil will become basically the soils of this desert region is not very hard texture, it is loose texture. So if after that, if we cut the trees over there or clear out the vegetation or the small bushes over there, what will happen? The soil will become more and more loose, and if the soil is becoming more and more loose, then the wind, we know that we have read in the first chapter that wind is one of the most important erosional agent of this desert region. So what will happen? This wind is actually going to carry away all the loose soil from the topmost layer and is going to deposit it somewhere else. As a result of that, again the agriculture and the fertility of the soil is going to hamper and the soil erosion will occur. Then there is the nature of rainfall. If the rainfall is too much high, what will do? It will wash away or drain away all the soil from the uppermost layer and it will remain barren. Next is the topography. Topography means the relief feature. Specifically in the mountainous region, the mountain has got a high steep relief like that. Okay, in the mountainous regions we know that pine trees are there. So these pine trees are actually holding the soils in the mountainous region. So if we are deforesting or cutting away all the pine trees, what will happen? The soil is becoming loose. Okay, so it is already a slopy land and there is no trees to hold this soil. As a result of that, what will happen? The soil will be free to fall and it is causing the soil erosion in the hilly regions, or specifically in the region which has got a little bit upheaval or has got a little bit height. And we know that the rivers are originating from the mountain itself and also from the some parts of the hills. So again the river is carrying away all the soil loose rock materials from here and depositing it somewhere else. This deposition also lead or also can means if excessive amount of the soil is being carried away and is being deposited by the river to some other or to the lower or middle course of the river, it is actually choking the river also. If the river is getting choked, then the occurrence of the flood is very much high. So this erosion or soil erosion is again leading to another natural disaster, that is flood. Then we have the overgrazing. Overgrazing means this partial lands or this lands which are open and have consist of the grass. This grazing animals like cows, then cattle, then goats, they go over there and eat up all the grasses and the small bushes over there, leading to the soil become loose and ultimately the soil erosion is occurring. Then we have the landslide. Landslide obviously in the mountainous region. How? If the trees are there to hold the soil, if the trees is not there, then what will happen? There is no agent left to hold the soil, and as a result of that, slight movement or slight displacement in the layers will cause the soil erosion. Next we are going to go in page number 100, or you see there are some regions mentioned over here where the soil erosion is very much prominent, like the eastern part of the desert region, means this portion of the desert region. Then in the Aravalli, as we know the Aravalli is lying over here, the foothills regions of the Aravallis. Then the Chambal Valley. Chambal is actually present in the Madhya Pradesh regions, means this portion of India, and in Chambal Valley the erosion, the rate of the soil erosion is a little bit higher than the other part of India. Next heading is that consequences of soil erosion. Again it is important, you may get question from here, you may get a question of 5 marks from here. Please mark this important. Number 1 is the what will happen. Consequences means what will happen, what will be the effect of the soil erosion. Number 1 point is the loss of top layer of the soil. If the top layer of the soil is loose, the soil is actually losing its fertility. If the soil is losing its fertility, then to do agriculture is very difficult on those types of soil. Next is the fall of the groundwater level and reduction in the soil moisture. If the soil is being eroded away, or the topsoil is being eroded away, or you can see that this because of this erosion of the soil, the next layer of the soil is exposed to excessive amount of the evaporation. When it is exposed to excessive amount of the evaporation, then what will happen, that the water which is falling on the soil layer, or on which is about to become a part of the groundwater level, is not being able to reach over there, because maximum amount of the water is going to get evaporated. Why? See, the first layer of the soil, or the layer that we actually see, is the most modified part of the soil. And the layers, like we have different layers of the soil like this way. We call this as the soil profile. There is layer A, B, C, then so on and so forth. Okay. So this, what we can see is actually this uppermost part of the soil. Okay. So this soil is actually the modified version of all this layer. So this layer is very much different than this other layer. Contains of absorption of the rainwater, and contains of the evaporation, and in perspective of porousness, porosity, impermeability. This is little bit different, or it is the modified version of all these layers. Okay, so if this modified layer is being eroded away, what will happen? The soil is going to regenerate, or the soil has to be again modified into this previous form. If this again modification needs time, so the water which is falling on this next layer above the A layer is not a modified version of the layer. So what will happen? The water which is falling on there, which is being supposed to be the part of the groundwater level, is not being able to reach in the groundwater itself. As a result of that, the recharge of the groundwater is not occurring, and all the moisture is being absorbed by this soil layer, and also it is being evaporated. How it is being evaporated? It is being evaporated. It is getting evaporated because the soil is retaining the water. Retaining means holding the water. If the soil is holding the water within itself, then the sun rays is falling and it is actually evaporating. The soil is not allowing the water to percolate deep down in the other layers of the soil. Okay. Next is the expansion of the desert region. How the expansion of the means how the desert are expanding? Because of the deforestation, because of the excessive cutting of the trees, excessive clearing of the vegetation, the desert are extending not in our country, in most of the part of the world, and as a result of that, the soils are becoming loose and the winds are getting carried away, or the winds are carrying away the soils from there. Next is the increasing landslide. Nowadays, because see, you in this part of the consequences of the soil point, everything is very much related to deforestation. Whatever the point you are going to read from here is very much included in the deforestation part. We can't, or you can't write anything, or you can't see anything in this points which is just far away, or it's not included in the portion of deforestation. So landslides, you know, nowadays because of this plate movements, because of this excessive human activity, means we humans are using all the natural elements so much that we are creating disaster or hazard for ourselves only. Like in the mountain, you see that whenever you go to any hill station, you will see nowadays that number of the houses are more, and those houses are not the wood houses. Those are houses which are constructed and it is made up of the cement or this normal houses that we see specifically in the plain region. So the construction of excessive houses, the construction of the hotels is actually provocating the landslides in those regions. How it is provocating? See, everything needs to be balanced. Okay, and the landslides occurs in what? In the mountainous or hill portion. So this is already a slopy land. If we are disrupting the balance of this land by cutting all the trees or cutting all the holding materials, or disrupting the balance between the holding materials, what will happen? It is becoming totally loose, and as a result of that, slight earthquake movement or slight displacement, as we all know that in specifically the Himalayan region, and also the plates are continuously in motion, right? So when the plates are continuously in motion, that means it is continuously moving. So when there is a speed of the movement is little bit higher, what will happen? It is obviously having a displacement or having an effect in the mountainous region, and as a result of that landslides are occurring, and we are always responsible for creating the landslides in the hills portion. Next point is that prevention of the soil erosion and the soil conservation. How we can prevent the soil erosion and the soil conservation. Number one point is tree planting. So if we plant the trees over the total regions, then what will happen? The tree will grow. The root is going to hold the soil, and we can stop the soil erosion. Next is the terrace farming. Terrace farming means this is a slopy land in the mountain. So terrace farming means cutting this portion of the mountain like this way, so that a flat land like this can be made. If the flat land of this type is made, then what will happen? The soil structure and water retention capacity will be holding in this particular region only, and this is because it is a flat land. All the soils will not be able, or the rivers will not be, or the rivers, say small spring rivulets, will not be able to carry the water throughout or wash the soil thoroughly. So this terrace farming or terracing of the land is very much important to retain the soils in the hilly portions. Next is the contour ploughing. Contour ploughing is that contours of the imaginary line we know that joins the relief structures or joins the heights or reliefs of equal heights in a region. So if we do this contour farming, contours I don't know whether you know how the contour looks or not. Actually contour looks in this way. Okay. How the contour farming is helping? Actually contour is giving you the heights of the lands, and it is joining the heights of equal lands. Okay. So if we follow this types of the contour farming, what will happen? We can actually make the ridges and the furrows, and can restrict the flow of the water, and if we can restrict the flow of the water, then the erosion will be less. Next is the strip cropping. What is strip cropping? Crops that is cultivated in the alternate strips of the parallel land. Okay, different strips growing between the crops will produce a different time of the layer. The entire land will never get exposed. Means I am using this portion of the land at first, and after using it, after some point of time, I am shifting to another parallel layers. So if we do like this, then all the portion will not get affected at a particular time means this total area will not get affected in a one point of time. Next is the gully ploughing. Gullies are what? Gullies are small channels like this, from where the rivers or the small tiny streams flow. So if we do this gully ploughing, what will happen? We are actually making the channels for the river to flow, or the channels for the rivulets to flow swiftly. So when we are making this rivulets, then what will happen? The river or the streams that are flowing through this region will follow that channel without affecting the land mass. Okay, then is the prevention of jhum cultivation. What is the jhum cultivation? It is slash and the bunch. Means we are using a single plot of the land at one point of time. After the cultivation is getting over, we are just abandoning the land and we are moving to another region. So when we are moving to another region, we are burning this portion of the land. Burning this portion of the land means that whatever the vegetation is present over there, the vegetation is actually getting burned up. So when the vegetation is getting burned up, what will happen? The soil is becoming loose and it is becoming exposed to soil erosion. Okay, so if we stop this jhum cultivation, then we can prevent the soil erosion. Okay. So up to this is the point of the soil erosion. So what you need to study over here is that this prevention, jhum cultivation is one of the very important part of that may come in the short notes. Then we have this contour ploughing. So prevention of the soil erosion, please mark this important for the short question you may get. Then the consequences of the soil erosion, you can also get this for the 5 marks or individual questions like that. Then we have the soil erosion. Causes of the soil erosion is another also very important part. Please mark this. Then alluvial soil. You can get this in the small questions, or you can get it as 3 marks or 2 marks also. Okay, and the map that is given over here in the page number 97, you will be able to see that all the soils that we learned so far is given in this portion of our map, and the soils, like you can get the map pointings like mark the alluvial soil region, mark the red soil or the desert soil region, like that. So up to this I have completed the Soils of India chapter. So please go through the chapters very well. If you have any problem or if any question arises, please be free to ask us when the school is going to open, and all your doubts will be cleared. If you have any questions, any further queries, please do ask, and we are going to give you a re-revisions of this chapter when the school is going to ever. So thank you very much.